And if you don't know, you're a goddamn fool and you're an irresponsible steward over the soul and the life of your child, because you have to remember, whatever happens to that child, the child is never, ever going to forget it. And I don't want my child to get big and imagine big dicks when he was 4 and 5 years old. When he get 20, 25 years old, he on drugs, he can't cope because he keeps seeing big dicks floating towards his mouth and a busted asshole, blood running out his ass because he been fucking raped. See, I'd rather die than have my child have to live with that memory and me have to live with the memory. So I'm glad I live with the memory of a really paranoid, possessive mother that kept my child up under me. And if he wasn't, I had to know everything and everybody, and I would pop up in a goddamn minute and call all fucking day. Let me put him on the phone. You say he's fine, let him tell me he's fine. And if he talking like he fucking scared or you won't answer the goddamn question for me, oh, I'm finna get in the car and you don't know I'm coming, I'm finna kick the door again. Get in the car. So it's like I didn't. I'm listening to my grandmother. That's that baby daddy. You got to let that baby see his daddy. Don't let what happened between y'all come between. Don't do it despite the baby. I'm listening to these ignorant bitches telling me how to handle this. This man is blatantly disrespecting me, coming in and out of my life and the child's life. And they say, it don't matter. He been gone 2 years. Let that baby daddy. Let that baby. See, there wasn't no kind of boundaries. And this is what I'm saying to her. I said, your mother is responsible for you. You came out of your mother's sacred space. You act like your mother's not accountable here because she didn't know. It was her job to know. It was her job to screen people and find out. So it was a long pause on the phone, and the girl, I said, why are you so quiet? She kept pausing all throughout the conversation when I'm saying these things, and her mother's role, the powerful role of the mother, and she's crying. And I said, baby, why are you crying? Baby, why are you crying? What's wrong? I didn't know you were silent because you were crying. Because I didn't curse her or anything. I basically said the things that I'm saying to you. I'm trying to remember and repeat exactly what I said. And it's really what I believe and what I feel, because it's how I lived as a mother with my child, and I'm still that way about my child. And she said it hurts, and she didn't see it that way, that her mother was responsible. She thought her mother was innocent, and her father is the only one to blame for this. And I just sat there for a minute. I let her cry, because this happened about 3 or 4 times on the phone. It was long pauses, and she was just crying and sobbing. And I said, you know, you need to find out the history of everybody involved during the time, these 7 years you were being molested, sexually abused. When your mother would send you over there all them times, what was your mother doing? I said, you need to really honestly ask your mother. Was that a break for your mother so she could lay and play and party and relax so she could have a break from you? What was she doing? Why wasn't she calling? Why wasn't she popping up? Why did she assume it was okay just to trust your father when he had shown he was not trustworthy and really wasn't taking care of you and really didn't want to be bothered with you? He walked away and had a life with somebody else. Where was the father when you were at his house to allow your cousin to sexually molest you, put his dick in your mouth from 5 to 12 years old? What was he doing? Why didn't he say he didn't know? Why are you trusting relatives? So she said, I'm going to ask my mother, because my mother never, she said, I never asked her. I never thought about it. I didn't want to bring it. I wasn't thinking of it at that angle. I said, to heal, you got to look at it 360. I want you to look at everybody's role in your life and where were the adults. Because your mother and father were supposed to be the stewards over your soul, your mind, and your body until you could be a steward over your own soul, mind, and body and protect yourself. So I said, well, I got to go, because I was trying to type out all my emails from my juicing show and my other things, and she wasn't talking. She was holding the phone crying. So I asked another one of my friends, I said, did I do anything wrong? Because I was telling her that a part of her healing meant she has to look at her mother as well, and her mother wasn't completely innocent because her mother was supposed to shield her. Her mother was supposed to know what the father was doing, who the father had around, what family members, everybody that was around when the child was away. And she said, no, you didn't do anything wrong. She said, because you're right, the mother was supposed to know, and the mother's just as responsible as the father. So I decided to call her back to check on her a couple of hours ago. And I had a feeling, so like I could feel the mother through the phone. But I kept talking anyway, because I really felt, and I still feel, that I wasn't doing anything wrong. This girl's 17 years old, so she's not a minor. She decided to call me and talk to me about this. So as I called, I said, you were upset when I talked to you earlier, you were crying. before I go on into my day and I get ready to do my show, I want to see were you all right. And she was still sobbing. And that's when I told her she needed to get a journal. You need to write down all your feelings. If you're angry, if you're sad, all those feelings of grief and loss, you need to feel them, but you need to stop feeling like a victim and internalizing all of this stuff and feeling like it's on you. And it's like you want to idolize your mother and put her on a pedestal and believe that she's so good and your daddy is so bad. But you have to realize your mother does need to talk to you. She owes you an apology, and your mother needs to deal with herself because she's really not right and she's not balanced. And she's a coward to tell you that it's not your fault, her fault, she didn't do anything wrong, and because she didn't know, she's exempt from blame, when she should have been responsible for every place you went and everybody that engaged you. So the little girl, the 17-year-old young woman, is not saying anything. So I knew then that I was being taped or listened to, which is fine. I heard her mother in the background to tell her to ask me something or what was she supposed to do? What was the mother? And I repeated what I have repeated to you. Biblically, morally, legally, spiritually, the mother is supposed to be the guardian and the good steward over the soul of the child that was a gift by God that was created in her womb. Because I really know that no matter how she feels about me, I mean, it's really not too many people that can argue with me on the points I just made here about what a mother's role is. And you go out and above and beyond your call of duty to protect your child and to watch who is around your child. I don't really think too many people would disagree with me on that. So the mother says, give me the phone. She snatches the phone. I said, hello. She said, I just want to know, how dare you get on this phone with my child and upset my child? Why are you on the telephone talking to my child about me, upsetting my child? She's over here in tears. She's been in tears ever since you've been on the phone with her. You call back again, and you are doing this to her. I said, ma'am, let me introduce myself. My name is Alexyss K. Tylor. I have a talk show, Alexyss K. Tylor, Vagina Power Show. My show is on YouTube. I also have a blog talk radio show. Your daughter was on my show last year. Yeah, I know about that. I'm aware of that. I said, okay, well, then you know who I am then. I said, first of all, I didn't upset your daughter. Seems like you did that. And everybody else in your family upset her before she met me. And that's why she contacted me last year from watching my video. She reached out to me. She wanted help, and she wanted to talk to me. So I'm not the one that upset your daughter. You upset her, and she already had the issues of being molested and feeling abandoned and hurt before she got on the telephone with me. So it's not my fault at all, ma'am. Well, you are telling her that, you know, it's my fault, and I said, you are responsible because you are her mother. And I basically repeated everything I just repeated to you. I said, that was your job. I'm a mother. And I said, ma'am, you know what? I was talking just like I'm talking now. I said, I don't want to argue with you. I really would like to talk to you because I can tell that you have some issues, and they need to be dealt with, and your daughter really is hurting, and you need to deal with this. And she started talking loud over me, wouldn't listen to anything I was saying. No, you have the issue. You have the problem. It ain't none of your business. Why are you getting in my business? I said, ma'am, I got in your business because your daughter told me your business, and she wanted to discuss it with me. She wanted help. She wanted somebody to confide in, and I'm trying to help her heal herself, and that is also being real about your role in her cousin molesting her. Well, it's not my fault. I wasn't around. You telling me I was supposed to watch her? I said, yes, ma'am. You were supposed to pop up over there. You were supposed to know who was in the house. You were supposed to know their background. You were supposed to know who she was dealing with, and you were supposed to call. Oh, so you don't even know nothing about it. You don't know what happened. I said, okay, so is your daughter lying? Did your daughter just tell a whole bunch of... No, she's not lying. I said, okay, well, I do know your business. Because that's what your daughter said, and you just said you didn't call, you didn't drive by, you didn't check up, you didn't know who was in the house. Look, the only person, first of all, it ain't none of your business, and the only people I had around my daughter was family and her father and close friends. I said, yes, ma'am, and your family put his dick in your little girl's mouth.